Greetings, welcome back to Acadian Comics. I'm your host, James Fondren, and I put out a quick poll. I got one vote. I'm sure other people would vote, but I was going to make this video anyway, so let's get right into it. This is an art book by the famous futurist and artist Syd Mead. Syd Mead, he did work for Ridley Scott for concept art for Blade Runner. He also did concept art for, I think, Aliens and also the movie Tron. So I wanted to pick up this book, and I'm currently working on a little 5-page story. Here's the deal. So I'm finally to the point to where I've been turning in compositions in the How to Draw Comics Academy, getting feedback from my teacher Clayton Barton, and I've been having a lot of success in coming up with some interesting angles and perspectives to tell a story. So my new goal, now that I've been in the academy for, I'd say maybe a year and a half at this point, a year and 6 months for sure, maybe a year and 7 months, I've decided that I'm going to start doing a 5-page story. So with that being said, I wanted to get some good influences in. Even though you're doing a comic, you still have to have reference. Like the story I'm doing, I'll just put the first one of the pages. This is actually would be like page 2 of the story that you would be looking at right now. And there's going to be some industrial design elements. This story takes place on Mars, so it's in the future. It's a science fiction story. It's 5 pages. So, you need to have references readily available, rather. And I decided to pick this book up. So let's get right into it. All right. So I'm just going to cut gently along the edge here, because I don't want to damage the book itself. And let's cut the shrink wrap off. And then I think I can just do the old tear. So this is the hardcover edition. And I did go to Syd Mead's website, but there's also a Syd Mead vendor on Amazon. I got this book on Amazon, I think for like, I don't know, $25, $30, something like that. But having this in my library is going to be, really good for me, and I think kind of get those creative juices going for doing science fiction. So let's get right into it. I know I've been babbling for 3 minutes. Yeah. And there's also on the Gnomon workshop, there's a Syd Mead like tutorial and lesson on there. So I recommend if you want to learn how Syd Mead does his work, you get into that and you learn about that. Written by Syd Mead and Greg Hodgkins, and the foreword by Denis Villeneuve. He's the director of Dune, the new Dune movies, and Blade Runner 2049. Look, so here's some of his credits, right? So, Future According to Mead, that's, I guess, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the body of his work, but Star Trek the Motion Picture, he did 2010, The Year We Made Contact, Blade Runner, Elysium, Johnny Mnemonic, Mission Impossible 3, Mission to Mars, Short Circuit, Forbidden Planet, Blade Runner 2049, the original Blade Runner, of course, the original Blade Runner, and Aliens. The Core. The Core. Well, the Core, yeah. So I'm not going to read all of this, but this is a nice little foreword by Denis Villeneuve. I know I'm butchering his name, but yeah, it's just when you look at Syd Mead's work, you're like, oh, man, this is getting me pumped up. There's Johnny Five from Short Circuit. That was one of his credits. This is these are his compositions. Blade Runner here. Star Trek the Motion Picture. It's V'ger. Vitcher. Is it Vitcher glasses or V'ger? Vitcher, I don't know. I have a pair of Vitcher glasses, but I thought they were V'ger first. Yeah. Strange Days. Oh, this is cool. Directed by Catherine Bigelow. Is that with Ralph Fiennes? I think it is. I haven't seen that movie. I gotta see that. That is with Ralph Fiennes. It was a concept by James Cameron. The Core. It was a reboot of the Journey to the Center of the Earth. The Core. I had no idea that the Core was attached to Syd Mead, or Syd Mead was attached to the Core. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at all the stuff. Wow, this is all for that movie. Topeka. I love his roughs. Love his sketches here. You know, even in his roughs, he's showing you his shadow mapping, where shadow is. Shadow can do so much for your drawing. It's something I've learned, you know. It really can. Look at this. Look at his designs. It's just so good, you know. I'm gonna move my microphone just a tad. Oh, I like that. I like that. It's a train. Look at this stuff. Look at his futurist art, you know. Oh, this is Blade Runner 2049, right? Is that what this is? Did I skip a step? I mean, skip a, No, this is Topeka. Still on Topeka. Aliens. Here we go. Here we go. The Sulaco. He designed the Sulaco. Yeah, beautiful art. Just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Nuclear drive. And then this is the cool stuff that people know, like, oh man, look at his designs. Bay 12, please. Yeah. Yeah, you can see that. And this is like the beginning, or the, you know. Oh, I like how he just drew the legs, but then you still have the design. You can see through the character, because it's more, the space and the environment's more important. Just look at that. If you want to draw like environments, science fiction environments, Syd Mead is like the guy to go to. You want to see how he does it. Dropship. Oh, this is the dropship. And then they made it a little more, you know, kind of more like a conventional military craft. And there's the deployment vehicle. Wow. 2010. Year we make contact. Look at this. Oh, it's just beautiful stuff. Blade Runner. Here we go. This is a lot of people wanted to, this is what people know about, know Syd Mead for, is Blade Runner. Love this stuff. Yeah. Industrial design in reverse. Look at his initial sketches here. So cool. So cool. I wonder if they use some of his stuff for Total Recall. I don't know. It reminds me of that Johnny Cab Total Recall. Yeah. Inside the spinner. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Deckard's vehicle. It's too bad she won't live. But then again, who does? Wow. These are like what, 45-year-old drawings, something like that? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Amazing. Like 45 years ago he did this stuff. Look at this. Look at his sketches here. You know, I read some criticism on Amazon about this book. I'm going to try to cut the glare back just a tad. There we go. And I think it's unfounded. I think there are nuggets in here. And you can see the shapes. Like, he is flexing those shapes. And shape can give you so much. It can really do a lot. Sometimes I just start with shapes when I'm trying to do something, get something down. But look at these. Look at this. Look at his sketch here. Yeah, it's beautiful work. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, this is like where they find Deckard. You know, he's eating his noodles. You say, "You Blade Runner." Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Deckard's bed area. Oh, we didn't see that in the movie, but cool. Yeah, look at this stuff. This is the kind of stuff. This is like, this is science fiction art right here. This is what you want to see. Oh, look, here's the bar. Here's the bar he designed. With the replicant in it, with the snake. Look here, down here, here's his initial sketches. His roughs. So the criticism was, oh, it's just a nice art book. No, you see the roughs, you know. You do see the roughs. Like, this is finished, yes. But you do see, they did show you the roughs. Mm-hmm. And then some of the tech, you know, you get to see some of the tech in here. Phone, base, handset. Oh, that's cool. I mean, this is so cool. Oh, is this 2 pages together, or that's 1 page? Mask. Retinal imaging screen. It's like a VR headset. Yeah. Ectopia. Circular thinking. So cool. Kinder trap. Me contribute to these sketches for a science fiction movie about a mother who uses children and their genetic material to manufacture an army of robotic clones. Cool. Elysium. Now this is the cool stuff. It's like on the ground, Tijuana. Look at his sketches. Just amazing stuff. He's giving you the bird's eye view, control view. A, control view B. See, he's doing 4 different variations here. No, 5. This all looks familiar because a lot of this made it into the final. It is as he designed it, which is really great. I like the movie Elysium with Matt Damon and Jodie Foster. It's a good science fiction movie. Yeah, so cool. Why do I get these art books? I get these art books because I want to be inspired. You know, I want to be inspired. So I'm trying to cut down on the glare. I hope it's not too bad. Look at that. This is so cool. And then this thing, you know. Rotating, orbiting space station. Yeah, exactly. And they use a similar concept in Interstellar. It's just a bigger tube. The Jetsons cartoon opera. What? This is cool. Now we're on to something else. Yeah, let me go back real quick so you can look at that again, because I don't want to undersell it or. Yeah. This right here, this is in the movie. You know, this exact. It's like shot for shot. You see that, and they rendered that out. So cool. So cool. Anyway, we'll get back to this. Yeah, he had that command. Now Syd Mead passed away in 2019, so rest in peace, Syd Mead. But his command of shape and depth and perspective and just everything is it's just incredible. You know, Johnny Mnemonic, the dolphin. Look at that. Did he just do the biomechanical fish? Oh, he did the bridge in Newark. Oh, this is cool, man. Like, this is cool. Lunar Scout Commandos. Let's see if I can get the. Unfortunately, it's just gonna create a really bad glare, so I'm gonna keep going. This is awesome. This is awesome. And you see, I've got to do like some environmental stuff, establishing shots of like the Martian surface, and you know, you deal a lot with this like circular base stuff. Tron. Here we go. We're on to Tron. Oh man, he could do figures, couldn't he? Like some really good figures. Like you believe the space because he's got great figures, and yeah. More Tron. Look at this. Look at this quality work he has. It's just amazing. Painted, all conventionally done. I love his signature. Look at that. Grand Odyssey, Back to Earth. Mission Impossible 3. The head case. That's cool. Yeah. Mission to Mars. So there were two like Mars movies that came out at the same time. There's Mission to Mars, and then there was Red Planet. I like Red Planet with Val Kilmer more. Mission to Mars is starring Gary Sinise. But I actually like Red Planet more. Short Circuit. It's like the Johnny Five. Look at that. Sound of Thunder. Titans of Sci-Fi. A Sound of Thunder. I gotta. Did that come out? It says drawn from the imagination of two legendary figures from a universe of science fiction. A Sound of Thunder 2005 is based on a story by Ray Bradbury with designs by Syd Mead. Directed by Peter Hyams. It is a cautionary tale. Well, try to get this off the screen, but whatever. It is a cautionary tale of the precarious relation between cause and effect, time travel, and the devastating repercussions of the break of a primordial chain of events. Okay. Still cool. Like, look at this. Schizoid. This outer space film was to feature a SWAT-like team of orbiting astronauts who can descend to Earth and intervene when there's trouble. Huh. Didn't happen. Sandblast. Forbidden Planet, Forsaken Reboot. Wow. They were going to reboot it? 94. Was this 94? I think so. I don't know. I have to learn more about that. Yamamoto 2520. Masters of Anime. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look at this. Like, here we go. And then last but not least, we got Blade Runner 2049. And you know, I liked it. It was fine. It was fine. I saw it a couple times just to get that ambiance. Sometimes the ambiance overtakes the story, but the story was fine. You know, It was a detective noir thing. This was some of his last work, I think. It's the hotel where Deckard's in. This is like Las Vegas. Yeah. So kind of a wasteland, you know. Yep, so that's it. There you have it. That is the book. Syd Mead, The Art of Syd Mead, Visual Futurist. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you right here next time at Acadian Comics.